let's make a gratitude page today. Hello, welcome back to my channel. This is Priya here. If you're stopping by, thank you. Hope you enjoyed today's video. And if you're returning, please thank you for coming back. In today's video, I'm finally getting to use my Archer and Olive journal. This is the 8x8 I picked up over the summer. I know this is a spring journal, spring colors and all that, but if you know me, you know that lavender is my favorite color. So taking that as I bought this because this was my favorite color, and it was just sitting there on my bookcase for a couple of months now, and I thought it was time to take it out and get creative inside here. So I'm just going to start using it, and I have always wanted to try this size because I find that A5 is slightly smaller for me, because since I use a big, I wanted to see if this would be a good size for my journal. This is an 8" by 8". So I'm going to also attempt to make a Dutch door or waterfall kind of pages, and I see it all over the place now. And I usually watch such videos, and then I just yeah, it's another thing, it'll take some time, but I really get inspiration for doing these, and I really decided that it's time I try this from Amy. I'll link her Insta handle and her YouTube handle here, in YouTube name I mean. So she really knocks it off the park every time with every single set of projects or pages she does. So I think I will just give it a shot. I'm not a pro, and this would be my first time trying it. I've not tried it ever, so it will be interesting. So let's explore this together. And I want to use these two books, and I also have quite a few Planything books pulled out just in case I needed something to grab something in a similar size or whatever. So I have these three, and I have all the washi tapes from Planything here, and I may also bring in these squad girls, these seasonal girls. The fall ones are really cute. I hardly got to use them. I did use it, but there's lots more left. So I'm also hoping to bring in some of these girls if needed. And again, this is a page for gratitude. This also would be for a patron challenge. I'm a patron of Mary Ellen. I doubt you don't know her. I will link her and her socials here. And I'm a patron of hers. She comes up with a theme or a challenge for patrons to make spreads or creative. So Mary Ellen comes up with a patron theme or a challenge to the patrons for every month, and you can make spreads or something creative with that theme, and you post it in the group, and she will at the end of the month go ahead and pick a winner, and their post gets showcased for a month until the next winner gets announced. And that's how it works, and this is just one of the perks of being a patron. Yeah, so this would also be gratitude was this month, since it's November and Thanksgiving is right around the corner. Having a gratitude page or a spread is the theme for November. So that is what this would also be included as. So just opening the journal and leaving the first couple of pages to decide how the title should go. So I'm just leaving this page, and I will start working from here because I don't want to, I may, but I'm just starting from here, and I will just, so I definitely want to include these Autumn Houses and Trees book. Has this cute collection of mushrooms and pumpkins and gourds and all of that. So these I definitely would like to use, create something like a scene. And I also would like to bring in some of the elements from this book. This book is unfortunately sold out, but all the other, these two books are still in stock, and so are most of the washis, I believe. And there are a lot of fall cozy elements in here. And I also would have this as part of the two planner collab, International HP collab, which I host with my lovely group of friends. Also for International Planner collab, which is hosted by a group of lovely friends of mine. So I'll link both the themes, and I'll have the captions up here. So that is just the basic thought. I don't have much of an idea as to how I should go about doing it. So I'm also keeping this Fiskars X-Acto knife. It actually turns when we trim it. So this is, I don't use this that often ever since I got this trimmer. It's a ceramic one and it's pretty neat. So once I got this, I hardly reach for these, but I'm just keeping both of these handy, and so is my cutting mat. And I am having this handy, and I also might pull in from these sections, other sections, let's see. And we also have other things that we could bring in just to have some additional interest. So I will actually just fast forward this process. I mean, I guess I'll have to speed it up quite a bit, otherwise we'll be here all day, and that's not exactly ideal. So I'm just getting started, and I'll talk you through that or just explain what the process was at the end. I'm putting down the washi just to make a um, background or a layer to lay the houses on. And I'm just going back to the sticker book to pull out the cute houses on there. These so adorable, and I had almost forgotten about them. Thanks to Amy, who reminded me of these stickers through her similar uh, journal spread that she had done, and that was like a quick reminder. I'm like, oh yes, I need to use these, and I will start with something similar, and I'm pulling in the trees from the same Autumn Houses and Trees book because they have lots of collections. So it's different shades of oranges and yellows and all of that. So I'm just pulling into trying to fit all the scraps that can be used very well. And I'm starting to cut around uh, the different edges we have going on there. And I had to, as you can see, I had to go for a second time on top of that because, yeah, I had not used that Fiskars trimmer for some time, and it was not sharp at all. So I had to go back and do multiple times, and then I had to come in with my ceramic one to finish it off so that it gets a beautiful finish. And I'm starting to go for the second layer on the page behind that, just for some scenes in the background. And I had to move that a bit down because it was way far up, that it was the base was starting to show from there. So I had to go back and finishing off some of the edges there because the some of the parts were looking so dirty, I must say. And I'm just trying to see how it would look, and going back between all those sticker books, and I'm back to that Autumn Houses and Trees for something else other than just the mushrooms and the gods. So just adding in a few more elements from there, and then I trim off the end, and the scrap can definitely be used somewhere, and I'm using those fallen leaves and then back to some more tinier um, elements, and I'm trying to make sure it is all looking good. So I went back and added some birds in the sky with my Sharpie S Gel 0.7, and that's one of my favorite pens these days. And going to the seasonal vibes sticker book, going back to the seasonal vibes sticker book just to add some leaves and some bigger elements slightly for some added dimension. And then I'm going to finish off that part, the page behind, I mean. And yeah, I'm just lining up just to make sure it is the exact sticker on the other side so that I don't have to worry about the symmetry part, because otherwise some parts might look odd I loved how Amy does that because that's such a neat hack, and you don't have to overthink it because you already have the same elements, the same things. And good thing that these sticker books from Amber has 2 pages of each. I'm just trimming off the edge at the very junction, then going back with the washi tape and just trimming off the end. And the top part, I believe, is almost done. Yeah, that looks nice. Just making sure the nothing is sticking out, and then finishing off with some extra bits and pieces and scraps and all of that. And then some parts looks too plain, so I'm just going back to the seasonal vibes to get some leaves, at least a portion of it, so that the edge of the page can actually pop a bit more. Then going back to the page behind that, and as I mentioned, I'm using this to um, use for my gratitude. So I'm just spelling it out, just making sure it is evenly spaced out. Even then, you will notice that the alphabets got decreasingly smaller as I moved from the top to the bottom of the page. And I'm just making sure that I get that line straight, and then coming in with my X-Acto knife, and then between the pencil and the X-Acto knife, I'm making sure I'm like getting the alphabet straight. And I'm using that washi cutter from Live Love Posh to line up everything so that it will be less crooked and less messy. So I had done something similar for my summer journal, which I have not shared on my channel yet. I had made a journal for my summer in my A5 Archon Olive, and I had done something similar for one of the intro pages. So I'm just making sure, because E has 3 fingers sticking out, and it's really a bit more, it's more intricate, and so it's a lot more harder to make sure the parts of the alphabets are all exactly where you want them to be. So just making sure, going in and cutting in through the letters, and I'm just bringing in my Crayola super tips to see what colors I could use for that. And I'm also putting that scrap piece of paper under there just so that I can have a cleaner finish to my page, because otherwise you do um, get worried whether it would get onto the actual page behind that. So I'm just moving the paper as and when I need it to actually write the letters using the color dots. And now I'm using one of those boxes from the Planything sticker book, the autumn boxes. I love that book. Such a pop of color that just one box brings. And I'm bringing in a seasonal girl from the Squad Girls, the new Squad Girls collection. And I'm also using some of the elements from the Cozy Vibes, Cozy Autumn, I believe, was a sticker book. It sold out, unfortunately. It was a super cute book. Amber tried restocking it once, but it was such a great book that it got sold out within hours. So with Planything, you do have to make sure you set your alarms, get the book, because they do sell out. And I don't think she restocks her stuff that often, because she always comes out with newer stuff, and they're all cute. So if you're interested in any of her books, I would suggest you grab it right away, because you might not get it if you wait for long. And it happened to me once, because one of her last releases, I wanted a washi tape And forgot to mention that these washi tapes are also all from Planything. Again, I had my eye on one of the green striped washi tapes, and yeah, I was on a no spend, so I couldn't buy it. And a month later, I went back and it was sold out. So yeah, not a good idea to wait on those. And she just came out with her amazing winter collections, gorgeous, gorgeous the illustrations. And she also has a book themed one called I Love Books. Super adorable. I will share a flip through of that once my order is in. And it is so cutesy with books and antique books and all sorts of library themes and kids reading. How much more adorable can it get? And please make sure to check those out. And yeah, you can always use my affiliate code Priya10 to save 10% site wide. And these seasonal vibes sticker book, they are currently on uh, sale, so you can save 10% on top of that. And what I did was, here at the bottom of that page, I went ahead and lined up elements from the cozy autumn and the seasonal vibes, just lining it up around there, and then I'm just cutting off the bottom part, and then I will, it's such a cute look to it, and I will do the same elements on the other side so that it can be nice and similar, and it looks so professionally done. If there is some such a thing as a professional journal, I don't know. It's a creative space, I guess. So we all do get that professional look. So going back to the to finding the exact elements to be added on the other side, because you're using the same stickers, um, because there are 2 pages of each sheet, you don't have to overthink it, and it does line up perfectly. So you're good. So the bottom part is done, and then I'm going to have like you would think it's a waterfall kind of waterfall effect, where you it's a different look because you're cutting the pages in that order, but here I'm not. I'm just creating a what shall I say, something, a border or a background against which the gratitude, the alphabets written there, can actually pop. So I'm just doing that, and then I think she needed some more scenery to look at. So that's why I brought in a couple of elements from the autumn houses and trees on the top of the page, I mean. So going back to the functional box book, I'm just lining up the colors and just making a couple of clusters here, and in coordinating colors. So just so that I'm not going all the way through, but I wanted some clusters. So I'm just sticking to rounds and hexagons in this page. And on this side, I will go back to rectangles, going with smaller ones and bigger ones, just so that I will have something to write on on those pages too. And I will also bring in some washi tapes, which again, it was a nice a touch, I believe. Again, this I saw Amy do this and I thought it looked cool, and I just used some of those elements. And then I'm just going back with my Muji 0.7 to outline the letters so that those will actually pop. And I also brought in that scrap piece of paper underneath because I did not want to get it onto the page behind there. So just going with that. And that actually does make a difference. And then lining the outside edges of all the boxes. And if you notice, some spaces I do have the ink going over to the box. So I just made it into a little berry twig that you find in the wild. So that is something that I do, because sometimes your spreads are not perfect, and that's how you hide your mistakes, right? I mean, it need not be perfect. It looks cute at the end of the day, but you don't have to leave it as such. So that is one hack you could do. Just pretend it's something else. And I'm just filling in some smaller gaps that I saw, and just going in with a small blade of grass, and then the scrap is being used on the other side. Mind you, this is at 500% speed, so that's where we are. As I told you at the beginning, this is my first attempt. I really love it. It's a lot more time consuming, that is a fact, but I love the end result. It is totally worth taking that effort and that extra time. So these last couple of pages, I'm just leaving it as a blank slate, because this I would use it for journaling. Before taking the final pictures and a close up of everything, I'll probably outline these also, so that you'll have a very cohesive look with that. And I'll also lift her and the cat, so that it will all get a nice cohesive look. And if you liked what you saw today and would like me to try out new things like these, please let me know. I will do that. If you liked today's video, please take a moment to subscribe to my channel and turn on the bell notification, so that you don't miss any of my content. It helps me out quite a bit. I would really appreciate that. I will also link my Insta handle down below. Please give me a follow there. We have a really nice community there. And I will catch you in my next one. Bye.